will be protected by God.
And welcome back to Atreyu News. It is Sunday afternoon, August the 20th of 2017. This will be my last report for approximately a week. Hopefully I'll be back next weekend and we can continue the war. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so if my voice is a little more monotone than others, bear with me. Breaking. It's a bloodbath in Chicago. The violence and murders continue in Chicago without an end in sight. At least 7 have already been killed over the weekend, and it's still crickets from the media. Now you would think these are the shootings from the entire year or something. But no, there is a war going on in our inner cities. They are literally tearing themselves apart in Democrat-run cities, communist cities. So let's take a look. These are all the shootings just from this weekend alone. That's it. Just one weekend. 7 dead and at least 38 wounded in weekend shootings across Chicago from the Sun-Times. And guess who are the main victims? Black people. Guess who are the perpetrators? Black people. Black on black crime is so intense that I still feel the federal government should intervene. Because it's a war zone. They don't want to admit it, but we know the truth, don't we? Black lives matter, right? Or black lies matter, perhaps. Breaking. They're forcing her to resign. The Missouri senator who wished for the assassination of President Trump is being pushed out by her colleagues as numerous requests from the party are calling for her resignation. Missouri Democratic Party statement on State Senator Chappelle Nadal. Missouri Democratic Party Chair Stephen Weber today released the following statement on State Senator Chappelle Nadal's recent comments. State Senator Chappelle Nadal's comments are indefensible. All sides need to agree that there is no room for suggestions of political violence in America. Yeah, well, try telling that to other Democrats. It's nice to see some Democrats come out and they stand against the violence. Yet they still don't stand against Antifa. And the Missouri Democratic Party will absolutely not tolerate calls for the assassination of the president. I believe she should resign. Even though she declared she will not resign, a few days ago she refused to apologize. She regrets tweeting what she had tweeted, mainly because she got caught, but still refuses to apologize. And it makes sense because she has a violent past. Democrat who called for Trump's assassination has a violent past and is exposed. Democratic State Senator Maria Chappelle Nadal has been exposed for violently hazing her sorority sister. From Got News, Democratic State Senator Chappelle Nadal, famous for hoping for President Donald Trump's assassination, beat one of her sorority sisters during a hazing ritual in college, her alma mater student's newspaper reports. So she has a violent past of physically attacking other people, yet she was able to gain political power here in the United States. How? Well, the Democratic Party stands with their violent communist colleagues. As it appears. July 22nd of 1997 edition of the Georgia State University Signal ran an above-the-fold article describing how Chappelle Nadal and 4 other students ganged up on their victim. The Dean of Students, Dr. Kurt Kepler, found the 5 Georgia State University students charged with hazing and physical abuse or threat under Georgia State University Student Conduct Code, guilty on both counts. Yet she gained political power. How can this be? It still blows me away, but it's true. The defendants, Nikatra Benton, Chandra Herdeman, Delana Johnson, and Maria Chappelle Nadal and Crystal Williams, all of whom are students at the GSU, were tried in the student court on Friday, July 11th. Hazing victim, Kimberly Kelly, testified in student court that she was beaten, shoved, and slapped by the defendants. She also said that the defendants were her pledge sisters from the sorority Alpha Kappa Alpha, and had become angry with her when she left them to spend time with her biological sister on a Freaknik weekend. Well, that's a good enough reason to beat someone, because they'd rather spend time with their family than you. Yeah, beat the hell out of them. That makes sense. The defense denied that the 5 women were Kelly's pledge sisters. They had said Kelly was obsessed with wanting to become a member of AKA and was trying to eliminate possible competition. And here's the article proving that they were charged with doing exactly as the article described. Chappelle Nadal has shockingly abusive history. Got News has uncovered. She supports cop-killing terror organization Black Lives Matter, which doesn't even care about black lives, as I described about the Chicago bloodbath. If Black Lives Matter, then why the hell don't they march in their own damn street? Why? Because it's an anti-white, anti-American, communist revolution party. Black Lives Matter. Remember the name. She doxed union members and children while serving as a state senator in Missouri for being racist. She offered a $1,000 reward for information about a union worker so she could get him fired. Not only is she violent, but she's psychotic with malicious intent to people who do not agree with her. Dangerous individual. Breaking. It's confirmed. Look who is just stripped of citizenship. And judging on what I've seen so far, there will be many, many more like her. Convicted terrorists stripped of citizenship, ordered deported to failing to disclose ties to deadly bombing. Good. I always like good news. Breaking 911 reported Detroit. A former naturalized U.S. citizen who was convicted in Israel for participating in a terrorist bombing was ordered deported Thursday following an extensive investigation by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, Homeland Security Investigation. Razmeh Youssef Oda, who's 70 years old, lost her United States citizenship and will be deported from the United States for having obtained her United States citizenship unlawfully. Daniel L. Lemish, acting United States Attorney, announced. Joining Lemish in the announcement was Steve Francis, Detroit Special Agent in charge. Today's court action clears the way for this defendant's removal from the United States and should serve as an unequivocal message that the United States will never be a haven for those seeking to distance themselves from their past atrocities, said Steve Francis, Detroit Special Agent in charge. Oda, a Chicago area resident, was sentenced by the United States District Judge Gershwin A. Drain. During the sentencing hearing, Judge Drain indicated that he would sign an order today revoking Oda's United States citizenship as a result of that order. Oda will no longer have legal status in the United States, will be deported to our nation of citizenship, Jordan, and is barred for life from re-entering the United States. Jordan is an Islamic-run country, so no surprise about there. Judge Drain said Oda intentionally falsified her U.S. citizenship documents, and this sentence should be a deterrent to others thinking of lying to gain admission into the United States and citizenship. Before immigrating to the United States, Oda had been convicted overseas for participating in 2 terrorist bombings and for having been a member of the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, which has been designated a terrorist organization by the U.S. Acting U.S. Attorney Lemish stated in 1969 the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine conducted 2 bombings in Jerusalem and Israel. One was at a Super Soul supermarket, in which 2 individuals were killed and many more wounded. The second bombing was at the British consulate. Defendant Oda was arrested and charged with participation in the bombings and in 1970 was convicted. She was sentenced to life imprisonment but was released in 1979 after 10 years imprisonment. As part of a prisoner exchange, in numerous television and video interviews throughout the years, other admitted participants in the bombings named Oda as the person who chose the supermarket as the target, scouted the location, and placed the bomb. Oda obtained a United States immigrant visa in 1994 and has lived in the United States for the last 22 years. In 2004, she obtained United States citizenship. She unlawfully failed to disclose her arrest and convictions regarding the bombings in both her application for her visa and her separate application for the United States citizenship. Well, thank God she is on her way out. It makes me wonder how many other terrorists we are harboring. People among us that you see even on a daily basis, perhaps. Good news anyway. Breaking. Trump administration to disband another group. This one will make liberals' heads explode. I think we're past that already. I think their heads exploded the night Trump won. Still stuck unbelieving. White House disbands Climate Change Federal Advisory Committee. You mean after they realized that the North and South Pole were at record thicknesses and that the Earth's heating and cooling has more to do with the sun than it does us, and that the carbon dioxide was at much higher levels than it is now when the giants known as the dinosaurs roam the Earth? Yeah. Trump administration has decided to disband a federal advisory committee on climate change, according to a report Sunday. Just keep trimming the fat, Trump. We stand behind you. I do find it funny, though, that people that are too foolish to do their own research and just look at headlines see all these councils and committees being disbanded by Trump because, according to the articles, the corporations, Trump's a racist, so they don't want any part of it. That's complete BS. The reason why Trump disbanded the corporate committees last week and a few days ago, and he continues to do it even with this, it's the exact same reason. You don't want to make America great again. You refuse to bring the jobs back. You refuse to stop stealing our wealth with these fake carbon taxes. Then you're gone. If you don't want to make America great again, then sorry, but you're not part of this equation. And one argument that a liberal can never win is this simple fact. If you shut jobs down in America and in the West for polluting the earth and increasing global climate change, then you take those same jobs that you shut down in America, open a coal factory, say in China, and start producing the exact same amount of emissions that you would have done in the United States. Is that affecting climate change? No. What it is doing is stealing our wealth, our jobs, our prosperity, and shipping it overseas. As you notice, China and other countries don't abide by the climate change rules. So, again, it's completely fake. The sun has more to do with the earth than we do. We are just here for the ride. And the earth has been struck by meteors and giant cataclysmic events that wiped the life from the earth. But guess what? The earth still survived. It bounced back, and look at it. More beautiful than ever before. People are foolish to get behind this global climate falsified demonic system. But we know the truth, and so does Trump. So until next week, I close with this. I ask to you, what is our objective in 2017? To win the war. To win the war quickly and overpoweringly. For us to shut out the darkness. To walk in God's light. And to never, ever give up. We must never forget the past, for the past can predict the future. We must never forget the great sacrifice that our forefathers did for us to live free.
My fellow Americans, in this poignant hour, I ask you to join with me in prayer. Almighty God, our sons, pride of our nation, this day have set upon a mighty endeavor, a struggle to preserve our republic, our religion, and our civilization, and to set free a suffering humanity. Lead them straight and true. Give strength to their arms, stoutness to their hearts, steadfastness in their faith. They will need thy blessings. Their road will be long and hard. For the enemy is strong. He may hurl back our forces, but we shall return again and again. The darkness will be rent by noise and flame. Men's souls will be shaken with the violences of war. Some will never return. Embrace these, Father, and receive them, thy heroic servants, into thy kingdom as we rise to each new day, and again when each day is spent, let words of prayer be on our lips. Give us faith. Give us faith in thee, faith in our sons, faith in each other, faith in our united crusade that will spell a sure peace, a peace invulnerable to the schemings of unworthy men, and a peace that will let all men live in freedom, reaping the just rewards of their honest toil. Thy will be done, Almighty God.
As for the world expects only one thing, that we will win. Total victory. Until next time, God be with us, God bless us, and Godspeed.